Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another hard-hitting episode of the Callous Mind Talking Head Sportscast. I want to start this episode by saying please forgive my voice. I've been sick and I'm recovering, so I'm going to do my best. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this thing. All right, so my 2024 Week 13 National Football League week review. Those games started on Thursday, November 28th, and that was the Bears at the Lions. And once again, the Bears play competently, and they almost knocked the Lions off, but they failed to do so, and the Lions keep rolling. And they are, in fact, streaking. I believe they've won like 10 or 11 games in a row now, which is just absurd. But good for the Lions. The next game on Thursday was the Giants and Cowboys, and that actually turned out to be a pretty decent game, and Dem Boys did get that win at home. The Packers roll over the Dolphins at home, which, you know, it was not a big surprise at all. The Raiders lose a bitterly close game on Friday when they had the opportunity to really help the Buffalo Bills out, and they failed to do so. So the Chiefs continue to have only one loss, and the Raiders continue to struggle. Sunday's games, the Chargers and Falcons, and wouldn't you know it, Kirk Cousins ends up throwing a costly pick six, and the Dirty Birds lose at home against the visiting Chargers. The Steelers and Bengals was a heavyweight fight, as expected. Another bitter NFC North or AFC North battle, and but the Steelers did end up getting the win there, and they needed that in their division for sure. So the next game, the Cardinals lose a close one to the Minnesota Vikings, which is just brutal, but I can't complain too much about that because the Cardinals are, you know, they've been on the proper side of some of those 1-point games as well. So it's unfortunate that they've lost, you know, a couple in a row, and now they play Seattle in Week 14. However, such is the nature of the beast sometimes. So, you know, you go on the road and you play close, you're liable to lose close. So, how about the Colts sneaking out a win in Foxborough? Like, you know, everything was kind of against them, you know, going and playing outside in the elements, on the road, traveling from west to east, if you will. But they did get the win, so good for the Colts there. The Jets don't do the Cardinals any favors either by losing to the Seahawks at home again there. So that's terrible. The Jets just, their bad luck just continues. The Commanders roll the Tennessee Titans. And, you know, what can you say about Jaden Daniels? I mean, the Commanders seemingly were swooning there for a couple of games, and now maybe they've gotten back on the right track. The Texans and Jaguars, AFC South matchup. The Jags played that game pretty closely, considering that Trevor Lawrence was knocked out really early on, and the guy who did the knocking out of Trevor Lawrence has been suspended for 3 games. Rams and Saints. Rams get that win on the road. The Buccaneers have to go to overtime to beat the Panthers? What? But once again, an NFC South matchup, and you know, we know how those divisional games tend to play out, and that's about a microcosm of the way they continue to do that. How about the Eagles? Flying on the road in Baltimore, man. Good for them. I figured Baltimore would have the upper hand, but for Philly to roll into Baltimore and beat the Ravens like that, I gotta say that's pretty good. How about the 49ers going to snowy Buffalo, man. Woo! That game was funny to watch, man, just to see all that snow on TV and to see them having to blow the lines of the field so that people could see what the hell was going on. Man, I got to give all the credit in the world to those fans who come out for those games, man, because just to get to the stadium and get home from the stadium is, you know, must be real hell. And but they do it, and so God bless all the Bills Mafia out there. And then on Monday Night Football, classic AFC matchup, Browns-Broncos. Kind of came down to the wire there, and the Broncos do get that win to remain in the playoff hunt. And as far as my Week 13 pick results were, I was 12 wins and 4 losses, surprisingly enough. My losses were the Falcons, Cardinals, Jets, and Ravens. So I probably got lucky though on that Colts one. That probably should have been a 5th loss, but it wasn't, and I'll take my wins where I can get them. So let's see, I see a comment here from Adam. Let me get out here and take a look at this. Yeah, sad to see T-Log get injured, but ultimately not sure what the defender is expected to do. If the QB is running, then he is to be treated like a runner, especially with a late slide. Yeah, you know, that's kind of a murky situation. But, I mean, he knew he was going to slide. I think the problem came when the guy led with the elbow from the top rope. I think that was kind of the thing that drew the real ire, because it wasn't like you were just going to run up and just touch him, which is probably what should have been done, because you're kind of anticipating that he's going to slide anyway, and then he slides, and then you know, drop an elbow from the top rope, and it's just like, I'm not surprised the dude got knocked out at all. It's just like, God damn, son. They don't hit like that in the NFL anymore, especially not quarterbacks. So they used to crush guys across the going across the middle. Receivers had to duck and, you know, watch out for those clotheslines, but that's old school football right there. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't envy anybody on any side of that, because, you know, like you said, it is murky. But it's just one of those things that, you know, take the elbow out, keep the arm straight, you know, hand tackle. I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, I think that's all that I got. I hope you guys are all well out there. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving, and I will be back later this week with another video with the Week 14 predictions. So until then, please be good to yourselves and each other, and I will talk to you all on Thursday at the latest with the Week 14 picks. So until then, God bless.